Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm back again today to review another horror movie, another found footage horror movie, and the clues in the title. It's found footage 3D. Now I've watched this on the horror streaming service Shudder, and in actual fact it was in 3D on Shudder, so I've spent a good portion of my evening rooting through my drawers in my house trying to find a pair of 3D glasses, because I'm not a huge fan of 3D, to be honest. If I ever go and watch a movie at the cinema, I don't choose to watch it in 3D. It's not really my sort of thing. But you'll be pleased to hear I did manage to find a pair of 3D glasses. So I have watched this in 3D, but let's take the 3D stuff out of this, really, because it's just really a marketing ploy, and it doesn't really add anything to this movie. So let's just forget about the 3D stuff. But it was a nice touch to watch it in 3D. And what we get here with this movie is what you always hope for with found footage movies, especially these days, is a little bit of originality, because it's been strangled to death as a genre. And it could really do with a couple of years breathing space just to maybe get a bit more creativity into the genre of the found footage horror. But what we do get here is, I suppose you could say, an attempt to do something a little bit original with it. We almost get a movie within a movie, and at the beginning we meet these filmmakers. They want to go out to a farmhouse out in the countryside somewhere and film a found footage horror movie in 3D. And it's called Spectre of Death 3D, something like that. I think it's a horror movie. So that's what they want to do. They get a small cast and crew together, about half a dozen, and they head out to this abandoned farmhouse that supposedly has got stories of hauntings and death and things like that, and as they all do. And the creative force behind it, the guy you see in that picture there, who's like the producer, financer, actor in the piece, he knows about this history, but he doesn't reveal it to everyone until much later. They get out to this farmhouse, they start setting up filming, and as you can imagine, spooky things start happening. Small things at first, shovels landing on people, and then it starts escalating. You know, there's strange noises, and injuries start appearing on people. Continues to escalate. They see odd, strange images on the cameras or the footage that they're watching back of like this smoke, spectre-y stuff, and continues to escalate until, boom, the big climax at the end, which we always get in these types of movies. Now what this film tries to address is the issue I've had in a lot of found footage movies, is why in these scenarios when this things start happening would you not just drop the camera and run as fast as you can? Nobody in a lot of these found footage movies, you see people running around with cameras and stuff when it's all happening, all kicking off, and it's just, you wouldn't do it. You'd drop the camera and you'd run as fast as you could, or drive off, or do whatever. And they're constantly making references to things like that, you know, the things they want to avoid while they're making their film, the usual horror tropes in regards to found footage movies. So they try and avoid all them when they're making the movie, but they also try and avoid all them when the actual supernatural stuff is going off. For example, they explain away at the end of the movie when the big climax happens that the reason why the guy's still holding the camera is that's the only way he can see this supernatural being through the camera. It can only be seen through the camera. So that's why he needs the camera. That's why he's running around with a camera in his hand. It's a pretty paper thin reason, really, but at least they try and address some of the usual tropes that you see in the found footage stuff. I think the acting throughout is very good. There's nobody here who you would describe as weak in regards to acting. Not especially. I thought everybody did a good job. It was a little bit confusing at times because they were filming a film within a film, At times they're even interviewing each other for the documentary within the film. So you got a film within a film and a documentary, and they're all being interviewed. So you weren't sure when they were being actors, and you weren't sure when they were being actors within the film, the Spectre Death 3D film they were making, and when they were being actors for the found footage 3D. It all got a bit confusing. At times it got a bit hard to follow in that sense. I thought the horror elements were pretty good when they happened. Certainly, the last 20 minutes is breakneck and pretty frightening, and the final scene of the movie made me jump about 6 feet in the air. That's how effective it was. You knew something were coming, but when it happened, it absolutely scared me half to death. So I have to say this is one of the better found footage movies. I don't think it's perfect. It's not the best one I've seen, but I did really enjoy it.